going to be playing there sooner rather than later. All right, Week 1 superlatives from free agency. The first award, and these have been predetermined, so Chris and I just will pick who we think fits. The Happy Quarterback Award. Self-explanatory.
Well,
who's the happiest quarterback after last week?
Well, okay, I'm going to go with one that's a little different here, and the fact that I'm going to go with Russell Wilson. I am. I mean, Russell Wilson won him. He's hit the jackpot. You know, yes, Sean Payton being his head coach and maybe going to save his career from where it looked like it was going, but just the automatic right away, hey, we're going to make you feel protected. Ben Powers, huge guard. You know, Mike McGlinchey, huge tackle, and we're going to start making you feel confident and feeling good back there and not put it all on your shoulders. I know there's other teams out there that put some more weapons around their quarterbacks, but I don't know, between the Sean Payton and then kind of revamping the offensive line with those two moves right off the bat, I'd be really happy if I was Russell Wilson. I'd go, damn, we got a run game. Damn, I'm going to be able to sit back there, have time, and let some of Sean Payton's plays develop downfield so I can, you know, throw some lasers all over the place.
Well, look, here's the reality, too. It may be elimination of excuses for Russell Wilson.
Well, that's true,
too. Hey, look, we went out and made the offensive line better, and you still aren't very good.
That's
we
true.
Need to move on in lieu of guaranteeing another $37 million next year. So it's good and it's potentially bad because can't say it's for lack of having an effective offensive line. I'm going to go Joe Burrow on that point of offensive line. Yeah, you know, I thought about Daniel Jones,
right?
But to get Orlando Brown Jr. on a 4-year, $64 million contract, that is amazing. That is ski-mask territory for the Cincinnati Bengals. When he was offered more than that last year by the Chiefs and said no, and it wasn't just a one-year deal. We talked about this earlier. When you don't get signed right away in free agency, that means you overshot the market and you're likely to do a one-year deal. He still did a 4-year deal. And this is what the Bengals need if they're going to build around Joe Burrow. They need to have guys who are great players who will take less. And I know there's a question of how great is he really because it's easy to block for Patrick Mahomes. But still, that offensive line in Cincinnati needs to be improved. Orlando Brown improves it. I know they have a problem now with Jonah Williams asking to be traded, but they have their answer for the next 4 years. They wouldn't have done it if they didn't think it was an upgrade, and it's an indication you can get a guy for less than what he wants, and maybe we can get more guys to take less than what they would want to come to Cincinnati. Who would have ever thought that Cincinnati would be the epicenter of guys taking less?
Yeah, no, it's special, but again, it's that quarterback thing that we've talked about. You know, it's the Joe Burrow effect. It's the, oh, wait, they're going to be damn good for a while. And, you know, hey, why risk it on another year? Let me just get some long-term money in my pocket and go. And, yeah, it's amazing. And it was rare, like you said. And we'll see where it goes with Jonah Williams. You know, hopefully for Joe Burrow's sake, he stays around and changes his mind and goes, okay, I'll play right tackle. I don't want to be traded. But, you know, I don't know. I don't know where it goes. But that was certainly one of the biggest moves of free agency for sure.
All right, next, the Hustler Award, the guy that went out there and put in the most work this past week to make his team better. Chris, who do you have?
Well, man, this is one where, all right, well, I see here you already have Ryan Poles in there. So do you want to go with that first?
You can take Ryan Poles.
Well, he's obviously the winner. He's the winner, right? I mean, we could tag team this together if you want. You know, but yeah, Ryan Poles, what he did not only in free agency, you know, to get Robert Tonyan, Nate Davis, good guard from the Tennessee Titans, the two middle linebackers, DeMarcus Walker, an F the play up type guy that can do different things than your D-line, Andrew Billings, a run stop and nose tackle, and then of course the trade, right, Mike? I mean, you know, the trade, the picks, and DJ Moore on top of that. I mean, he's obviously won the award, but there's some other ones out there that I think, you know, deserve some notoriety. That's for sure.
Well, who else would you add? I mean, I was thinking that the Panthers as well, starting with them moving up to number one,
sure,
adding Adam Thielen last night, chasing possibly DJ Chark. They'd like to add both guys as they replenish their receiver room after moving on from DJ Moore. I kind of like what the Panthers are doing as they prepare for the arrival of their franchise quarterback.
Yeah, no, I'm all for that move too. Definitely. I mean, that was a big moment for their franchise. So I do think that was a big time move. Certainly on my list. I think you add, you know, the Panthers. We talked about Ryan Poles and the Bears. Joe Shane and the Giants. I think there's been some really good signings there. First off, trading for Darren Waller, right, to pull that up. Bobby Okereke, the middle linebacker, right? That was desperately needed. Nunez Roches as far as the defensive line's concerned. Paris Campbell's got a chance. The other one, Mike, that really jumps out to me, though, and I would probably, if I didn't go with Ryan Poles and the Bears, is Terry Fontenot and the Atlanta Falcons and what they did. One, I think, got a lot of damn good players, right, Mike? But, re-sign the best guard in football in Lindstrom, right? Get the best safety on the market in Jesse Bates. Jonnu Smith trade style of football. They want to play that way, and then get 2 New Orleans Saints guys. The thing I love about what they did is they got guys that their coaching staff all knew or had tentacles to before. So it wasn't like risking anything. So I will give Terry Fontenot and that Atlanta crew some credit for what they've done.
Yeah, look, plenty of teams out there doing what they can to make their franchises better. And Peter King and I talked about this on Friday. There is a sense that this is all fool's gold territory where you really can't make your team better this way. But in recent years, some teams have indeed improved their fortunes by going out and spending in free agency. I don't think it's the end-all, be-all. It's got to be part of a broader strategy, and I'm always in favor of the teams that sit back and wait for the market to soften, like the move the Lions made last night for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But still, it's one of the tools for getting players. And yes, every free agent that's available is available for a reason, so buyer beware. But teams out there trying to get better, and that's what fans want to see. Effort to improve wherever you are, whatever you are, in the hopes of eventually pursuing a championship. All right, the head scratcher award for the week. Give me one thing that you look at and say, I don't get it.
Well, it kind of got messed up because this is where I had the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson thing. Going into last night, I thought, oh, that'll be, when I got the rundown, I went, oh, well, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. And then, of course, that happened. But that's one I just didn't get. I think we already talked about that. But yeah, that was kind of one all along here where I was just like, wait, why is this guy not signed? Is he not awesome or is he not awesome? I don't understand it. And, I think we kind of flushed that out to a degree as far as what he was expecting in the money department.
I still can't believe the Baker Mayfield deal.
Yeah.
Not from the Buccaneers' perspective. It's great from the Buccaneers' perspective. From his perspective, I mean, this is the ultimate all-in bet. I'll take your $4 million. $4 million. That's his base pay. The number 1 pick in the draft in 2018, who was great as a rookie, great in 2020, would have been, could have been, should have been great in 2021, but for making a tackle week 2 against the Texans and messing up his non-throwing shoulder and ending his career in Cleveland. Then they get Deshaun Watson. Last year it didn't work in Carolina. It worked a little bit with the Rams, but come on, it's the Rams, so we really don't know where he is. For the Buccaneers to get him for $4 million that can be worth up to $8.5 million, I'm astounded he was willing to accept that little. The Bucs are going to carry under their cap this year $35 million for the guy who isn't there and $4 million for the guy who is. That's incredible.
It is incredible. It is. But I think it's, again, like we talked about last week, options were limited. It's probably the only place where he went, wait, they're definitely going to give me a chance to compete and be a starter. And now I just got to go out there and perform, and he's betting on himself. It's the ultimate bet, but you're right. It's a low number. It really is. It's rare to see a quarterback of that stature accept that type of number, but hopefully he can capitalize. I'm rooting for Baker Mayfield in that department.
And remember, we love it when guys bet on themselves because it ain't our money. We get to stand and watch the roulette wheel spin, and we get to cheer and vicariously enjoy the victory if it works out that way. And if it doesn't, we say, that's a shame. And we walk over to the blackjack table to see who's betting on themselves there. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.